So it's an odd announcement at this time. However, we knew that there was an ownership change.
Right.
Ebro, even at my birthday dinner, was alluding to, hey, changes are coming. We know the game. We work here, but we just got to be prepared for when it happens.
Now, yesterday, the whole hip-hop community was in shock when they found out that Peter Rosenberg and Ebro in the Morning, the whole show, had been canceled and Ebro and Peter were fired. Now we got to see what the Podfather had to say about this. Y'all better like the video. Y'all better subscribe. Let's get it.
Radio Insight has confirmed. Hey, let's go. Has confirmed that the Super Radio syndicated Ebro in the Morning, featuring Ebro Darden, Peter Rosenberg, and Laura Stiles, has come to an end at Media Co. Hip Hop. Hot 97, WQHT, New York.
Wow.
Ebro tweeted, "It's done. More to come. Hashtag Ebro in the Morning," with Rosenberg following. "I lived out a childhood dream and it was amazing. Very excited for what's next. Ebro in the Morning." In an Instagram video, Rosenberg added, "I told you guys for a long time, change is afoot. Change can be beautiful. There are some changes on the horizon. Stay tuned. All references to the morning show have been removed from Hot 97.
Damn.
Damn.
Woo. That was heartbreaking. I was hoping it was one of those bad rumors or one of the fake shutdowns. You know, like when people are like, our show's over, and then like a day later they reboot on a new platform. That's what I was hoping it was. And then when I heard details of it and talking to some people behind the scenes, this was going to happen. But it's a heartbreaker. This is a legendary radio show to me, and it signals a turn, I think, even further away from radio and away from some of the stuff that we care about. It's a big moment in the culture.
Let me ask, and because again, we saw something similar to this when Flex went and tweeted, "Monday is my last day at 7 a.m. on Hot 97 or something." Everybody assumed it was the end, when it was really just him announcing a new time slot. They're saying Ebro in the AM, that show is over. Could this be an instance of that where it's like, okay, y'all had the show from this hour to this hour, but now y'all gonna go into the afternoon as well, so we're not calling it Ebro in the Morning?
It's possible.
It's
like
possible,
it seemed like they moving some pieces around, and again, this just happened. So I'm not jumping out the window, and with them still hashtagging Ebro in the AM, because you said Ebro did it, Rosenberg followed up and did it. I just think it's something else there, and I think this is designed to get everybody to think it's one way.
It's an odd announcement while their ratings are up. Their ratings are doing really well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So it's an odd announcement at this time. However, we knew that there was an ownership change.
Right.
Ebro, even at my birthday dinner, was alluding to, hey, changes are coming. We know the game. We work here, but we just got to be prepared for when it happens.
But in that instance, would they have removed all of the stuff mentioning the morning show from the website?
Well, yeah, if they plan on coming back with something else, and even if they don't, if they plan on just playing music through it, we can't have.
I know, but like interviews, all that shit, all that stuff is the IP of the station. Like, let's say you want to go look up an interview of the morning show with blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
I think all that's still there on YouTube.
Oh,
all the content
on
is there.
YouTube.
Yeah. That's
not on the website.
Most of their stuff lives on YouTube anyway, in
Gotcha.
terms of like
Okay.
the interviews and the podcast part of it, not
Gotcha.
the live radio portion. But I had just been hearing from people at Hot that I had heard rumors that the morning show was on its way out because of the ownership change, and there were a lot of complaints that the ownership change is destroying the legacy
I can believe
of
that.
a lot of these important people. And again, that don't mean that what y'all saying isn't true. I hope they're moving to a new time slot, but I'm really, really disappointed.
I can see it, yo. Everything going into tech,
And when is this effective?
and you might have
Now.
And
now,
immediately.
Yeah, they said immediately.
You might have a whole bunch of salary issues.
Yeah.
You know, these people come in and they don't have emotional connection to the team, to the staff, to these people. A lot of time new come in, they just looking at numbers.
You think that's good or bad?
What I'm
To
saying?
not have emotional connection to a team.
You need somebody who's like that, because somebody's got to look at the numbers soberly and not care about the emotional ties.
Yeah, a lot of times.
But sometimes when you have too many of those people,
Yeah, then it's bad.
you lose the
soul.
audience, you lose the soul of the place, and then you lose the people, because it's
just about that.
It's just about dollars and
I
cents,
agree
man.
with
And that's the thing I hate, and this is my least favorite thing about being in media, is you almost never get to say goodbye to your audience. If this is indeed a goodbye, you don't ever get a proper
farewell
goodbye. I have never. The closest I ever came to a proper goodbye was on Black News Channel because they told us that our check was going to be late, like that day. And I was like, that probably means we're not coming back. So I got to give a quasi goodbye to my audience, but I couldn't announce it because what if we came back on Monday? But I at least was able to say, I love working with y'all. Just know how much I appreciate y'all. But I've never had an opportunity to say, like, thank you. You know what I mean? On any show. And most radio hosts, no matter how long you work there, you don't get to say goodbye. I mean, people worked at Today Show for 20 years and don't get that.
That's crazy.
It's funny now that you say that. That's my experience too.
Right?
I didn't get to say goodbye on Everyday Struggle. I didn't get to say goodbye on State of the Culture. Yeah. It's just kind of
It's just over. It's fucked up.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
yeah, that is.
Ebro has been in Hot 97 since for my entire music career.
Yeah, he got 30 there.
Yeah,
If not 30, close to 30.
My entire career, he's been there from before he was the program director. My Hot 97 thing, Ebro's the OG. So, and be clear, Ebro is set up elsewhere.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He'll be fine.
Peter Rosenberg is set up elsewhere.
Yep,
Laura,
true
I'm
indeed.
unsure about. I'm not close enough with her to be able to say, but most of them should be fine. Most of them should be fine, whether they have a show on Hot 97 or not. I'm interested to see the direction that Hot goes in the morning because the morning show is a very important drive.
And that's why I think it's something else here, yo. Like, again, it ain't just them three on that show in the morning. I listen to them. It's
about 6 people.
yeah, it's about 6 people. It could just be a shakeup in that sense. Well, this show
Shawnee,
as it is.
my man Shawnee works on that show. I ain't got nothing bad to say about Shawnee, man. Good people over there.
Yeah, always.
Good people over there and a good show. It is a sad day. But again, this ain't the last of it.
You
I
keep
don't
saying
think
it.
This ain't the last of it.
so.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Ebro P, I love y'all, man. I love y'all. Laura, too.
For
Now, also because it's fresh, I want to play y'all just a little bit of what Ebro had to say after they were let go from the morning show.
When the Trumpster got in office, listen, man, I don't capitulate well, bro. Been doing this too long. If you look around all the major media outlets, man. All of them. Look at all of them. They all got to fold up because they all trying to renew their deals, their licenses. They all, well, in this particular situation, we'll get into more specifics another time. Bro's a casino owner. You know those 3 licenses that they got here in New York City for the casinos? The guy that owns the owns one of the casinos licenses. He got to raise $500,000, bro. $500 million, excuse me. They need my talking anti-Netanyahu, anti-government, progressive out the way, bro. They need me out the way. They trying to get to these bags that these VCs got, raise some capital. They don't really care, like, especially for like a Hot 97 and a WBLS. They don't give a fuck about hip hop or black music or black community. They don't give a fuck about none of that. They give a fuck about access. They give a fuck about being able to bring their little nerdy friends to the concerts because that helps them raise money. They've been trying to get to me for years, bro. Years.
All right. Now, I think it's cool that people like Joe Budden and just a lot of people in the industry have a lot of respect for Ebro and Peter. Y'all know Peter was there in the beginning of the Joe Budden podcast, and y'all know Ebro also hired Joe and taught him a lot of what he knows about broadcasting today. The Hot 97 job that Joe had was probably his introduction to what he's doing now. So he's always going to have respect for these guys. And look, I was a big fan of Peter Rosenberg's podcast, Juan Epstein. That introduced me to podcasts. So I got respect for both of these guys. But I want to sit here and I want to address what Ebro just said. Bro, people have looked at the things that you in particular, and not even just you, but Peter as well, have said about hip hop, have said about artists. A lot of these things you're telling us right now have always existed, and you still took that job and you still took that check. This ain't the first time Trump was in office, by the way. And we've seen Ebro flip-flop and go back and forth lately. I remember when he was really big on the Kendrick wave during the beef. Now he's kind of flipping back, and now he's a Drake guy now, and he's taking back some of the stuff he said about Drake. But that just also adds to, for years, he was the one who was big on, you know, all of these new artists are trash. These new artists are weak. Every time a newer artist would come up there for an interview, he would try to grill them. So yeah, people have been on you for years, but it ain't just about the new politics that have been going on in the country. It's about some of the ways you have behaved on your various platforms. Not to mention, you got that job at Apple Music now, where a lot of people had questions about how things are playlisted, who's getting favoritism, and I heard you have a lot to do with that. And some people would look at the way things are ran at Apple a certain type of way. You don't have no issues with that, but you taking that check there. Ebro seems like the person who has no issue with the establishment when he's working within the establishment, but then now he's fired. You know, when he was working at Hot 97, you would never see him put a joint in his mouth. That's the part of this little video that bothered me the most. Now you got a joint in your mouth. Later on, he goes on and he lights it up. Let me see if I can show y'all. He lit it up and started taking a puff. So now you got fired from your corporate job. Now you about to tell us all the secrets that we already knew about before you even said this, bro. The only difference is you fired and you out of a check. Now you think you exposing something? And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, Ebro is like a skateboarder from California. And so he's talking about who's a nerd and all this other stuff. Sometimes people would listen to you and Peter Rosenberg and say y'all was nerds. I know a lot of artists who think you and Peter are nerds. And Peter has had his incidents as well when it comes to being on the radio and, you know, being in music and talking about hip hop. We saw Peter kind of doing a transition towards sports. Y'all remember when Peter Rosenberg was working at ESPN? I think he was even on First Take a couple of times. So, you know, he's going out more gracefully. He's saying, hey, thanks for y'all time. I appreciate my time. And he's, you know, going on to do whatever he's doing. And I think both of them will be fine. But still, I just don't respect this take from Ebro. And when I was talking about some of the stuff that Peter has done, one of the most infamous moments was the Nicki Minaj Starship situation, where Nicki had to check him. And there was a few other times where artists came up there and they questioned whether or not he should be allowed to speak on hip hop. And it might have been because he was white, but sometimes he had a couple of off takes, and Ebro did too. So you have to add that into the mix when y'all thinking about, well, now we getting fired. But I will say, after they did a lot of questionable stuff that the culture looked at a certain type of way, they did keep their jobs for many years. And that's why you should be thankful. Yeah, I heard it's a change of regime up there. I heard it's some new owners up there. And okay, maybe they want to clean house and get rid of you. But at the same time, don't act like in your entire tenure there, you was the man of the people. You was the one fighting for the people. Black Lives Matter. Yeah, actually it's more like Black Lives Matter because you trying to scam us right now. And so, yeah, you know, it's cool that people like Marc Lamont Hill and Joe Budden, you know, they have respect for Ebro, and I do too. But I think he's also a little upset that he knew this day was coming. And instead of, you know, crapping on all the new media people, he always had an issue with academics. And I know a lot of people don't like academics, but That's the wave you slowly transition to. That's what he's doing over there with Nadeska, Academic's old co-host at Apple Music. He over there doing the same stuff that we do, essentially. So maybe I would take this a little differently if you was more open to the future and was more realistic about your time and how long it was going to last up there, because we're getting to a new era of hip-hop media and it's not going to look the same. And I could sit here and talk about the death of radio as well, but y'all already know that. See, I'm not going to sit here and talk to y'all like y'all stupid like Ebro is trying to do. Let me know what y'all think about this. Shout out to the pod. Like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.